All right, hey there. Good afternoon. Well, good morning, I guess. Always doing that, right? It's a few minutes after 11 a.m. Central Standard Time here on Tuesday, the 21st of December, 2021. Just 4 days from Christmas, guys. Christopher Inks with Texas West Capital, coming at you live from a beautiful day here in Bernie, Texas. Though I'll tell you what, it looks like we're going to be challenging those all-time highs on Christmas Day. It'll be around 80 degrees here. Gotta love South Texas, right? Hopefully y'all are doing well. Hopefully you guys got in on that move with Bitcoin. It's what I talked to you guys about last week. It's what I talk to Discord about every day, getting ready for this. So we still got some further upside to go, to kind of confirm that add confidence to that larger count. But it's definitely looking good so far. Let me see here. Who's here? Nevlusian, what's going on? Jared the Great. Hank is here. Blaze. Who else is here? Daniel Mendez, good to see you, man. What is happening? What's up, man? Checking in from North Carolina as always. Merry Christmas to you and everyone else as well. Sylvia, what's up, man? Jared wants to know, can we talk about Luna at some point? Dip should be bought, right? Luna USDT, Luna BTC, what you talking about? You guys always need to make need to make sure that you let us know which one you're talking about. But yeah, we can take a look at something later. Sure. Travis, what's up, man? Tellurrider's here. Data's here. Let me see here. Blaze says still staying away until 52.5K. It's coming up. It looks like it is anyway. We'll take a look at what the updated local count looks like here. Hey there, Paul. Just in time. Checking here. He says long Texas temperature. I don't know. My son's not too happy about it. We considered going to spend December in the mountains somewhere, but ended up not doing that. So we're here, and he's got no snow for Christmas. I'm a terrible father. I know, right? Bianca, good to see you. Hey there, Mike. What's up, buddy? Paul, checking in from London. Oh, man, that's awesome. I love that we're getting, that we have this great group of people checking in over there from that area. I love it. Bill is here as well. Let me see here. Brian, what's up? TV Canal is here. Let's see here. And Pepe is here. What's going on, guys? All right, so listen, if you're new and you'd love to join us, man, we would love to have you. HowToTradeToWin.com is where you do it. As always, the longer time you commit to, the more of a discount I'm going to give you, because guess what, guys? You're not going to learn to trade overnight. You're not. I know you want to. I know you think that's the way it is. But please understand that most things you think the way they are when it comes to trading is actually not the way they are. It's usually the opposite. But anyway, if you're committed to actually really learning how to trade, guys, stop thinking that you should be trading the news. That's a bunch of nonsense. We get you in there before the news. Get you out before the news. That's what we do. Because you know what? News is a lagging event. News is just a way for people to try and make sense of price action that's happening because they don't understand what's going on. News is always, hindsight. That's why you'll see people that say, oh yeah, but buy the rumor, sell the news, and then price continues to go up, right? Sometimes it goes down, sometimes it goes up, but they'll always remind you of the time they were right with that. It's just what we do as human beings, guys. So get off the nonsense. Stop trading news. Get in before the news, get out before the news. Do those things that you need to do to make sure that you are set up to make more money, to have a better success rate than what you normally do, right? Let me see here. Let me see. Brian says the mountains outside of Denver look awesome. I'll bet they do, man. That's where we were looking to go. Maybe like Golden or somewhere around there is what we were actually thinking about doing. But yeah, didn't make it this year. I guess I'll have to try again next year. Let's see here. Price is truth. That's right. It's some risk, man. Good to see you checking in. Everybody's going to get out there and tell you what they think. But at the end of the day, price is going to do what it's going to do, guys. Price is going to go where it's going to go. Contrary to popular opinion, if the market itself is not bullish, you can't make it bullish. If the market itself is not bearish, you can't make it bearish. If you thinking you're going to dump a whole bunch of coin on the market, and the market's just going to turn down from there, it's just going to continue down, you're sadly mistaken if the market's bullish. You might get a little push down, in the interim, but that's all it'll be, and then price will rally back up. Again, these are things that the new traders tend to think when they first come in. And most unfortunately tend to leave broke and thinking the same way. But that's why you end up going broke in the markets, guys. All right? So, free beer in Golden, Colorado. That's right. Taste the Rockies, right? That's what they used to say anyway, I think. Mark, what's up, man? Checking in from the kitchen today? Oh, Mike, you're so silly, buddy. You know I don't tell you what you want to hear. Let's see here. Hey there, Devin. Good to see you. So anyway, like I said, you can join us here at howtotradetowin.com, guys. We'd love to have you there. Tier 3 is the bomb. Seriously, we do so much. I actually had somebody who was only in for a month, and then they ended up leaving because it was too much information. They couldn't. Now they didn't ever ask for help either. They didn't, send me a message, say, hey, Chris, or Adam, and say, hey, help me understand the best way to, to approach all this information, this content. If you guys are new and you struggle with the amount of content that we put out, send out a message, man. Let us know. We'll let you know. There's certain things that you should watch regardless of what you're in the market for. And then there's other channels that you may or may not decide that you want to follow along with depending on what you're trying to trade. But let us know, man. We'll help you out with that. But, it happens. It happens, guys, every once in a while. But, people come in, they're used to getting scammed. They think, I'm going to pay this money, and they're just going to, take it from me and not going to give me much of anything. And we give you a lot more than what you'd believe, right? So, yeah. Mike says we don't allow losers into our club. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, whales can have more of an effect on price during times of low liquidity like the holiday. Sure they can. But in general, if the market is bullish, then it will be nothing more than a knee-jerk reaction, a pullback, and then it'll continue higher. If the market is bearish, then it's already bearish, and so whales aren't really doing anything, right? I'm telling you guys, almost a quarter of a century of doing this. Nothing's changed. All markets, same way, guys. All right. What's going on, Leighton? Good to see you, man. Let's see here. So we've got Bitcoin here with the weekly, right? I just want to kind of talk about the weekly real quick. We may end up having a bullish engulfing here off these couple of weeks of coming back, so that would be good. But the big picture here is you've got this nice demand zone here, demand structure in this wick, and you're about halfway down where you're finding that support, potentially printing tweezer bottoms right here, right? So you got this low here at 45,496.57, and then here at 45,568. So less than $100 separates those bottoms, potential tweezer bottoms printing there, which could lead to higher. Weekly Stochh RSI here, as you can see, bounce almost off of oversold down here, rallying back up, wants to cross bullishly, and then of course setting it up with this part right here with this what we've got going on here, right? So we've got overall price making higher lows and the oscillator overall making lower lows. Not exactly bullish or hidden bullish divergence, but same general type of idea. You've got price getting supported and you've got demand, creeping in now. So the things that you guys want to see, right? That's where we're at. Let me see here. Go to 3-day here. So our 3-day, as you can see here, again, pulled back right about mid-range here. We're rallying up nicely right now. This is the current 3-day candle, which started today. So it'll be today, tomorrow, and the next day. It'll be 3 days up before it's done. Looking pretty decent right here. Zooming into the daily. Again, same old thing here. We've got all this around these lows here. It kept trying to push down. It couldn't push down. Finally pushing up this morning. And so then we kind of zoom in locally here to what we were talking about last week. And so here we go. We've got the breakout of this local descending channel and descending wedge here. This does appear to be a WXY kind of correction here. And then we've got this up here as a 1, 2, and then I've got a 1 and a 2 pulling back maybe toward this this EQ here, right around that 48,000 kind of area. So we'll see. It could potentially be done here and just kind of rally on up. It's looking pretty strong coming up out of here. Let me see here. What we got going on here? We got tweezer tops here at tweezer tops here. The top getting that reversal going. I don't know. This may be ABC here. We'll have to see. If we're getting a breakout above the swing high here, we'll be going long on that, obviously. But if it continues to break down, especially before rallying above this swing high here, we'll be looking for that EQ R1 pivot on the 15-minute. Ultimately, what we're looking for, guys, is for price to come back toward this descending resistance and test it as support. So it could be right here, could be a little bit lower, but it should remain above the pivot. Should remain above this 1 hour pivot. So if we get the pullback to this EQ here, that gives us a minimum expected wave 3 target up here around the 1 hour R3 pivot at about 54,100. And that just kind of sets up everything else. Remember, we've got the larger picture here. We've got this pattern target here, by the way, guys, based on the height of this wedge, which is 52,536. Takes you right above the R2 pivot on the 1 and 4 hour here. But if we're breaking up through this large descending channel, descending broadening wedge here, resistance, which is where that pattern target will take us, then that gives us a larger pattern target here based on the height here of $15,701 above the point of breakout. So looking to take us all the way up here towards 66.5, 66,066.5, depending on where it breaks out. But you can get a little bit better idea of what's going on here as we're looking at this. You know, again, you make this move up, you pull back, pull up higher here. I mean, if we've got wave 3 right here, that should give us a wave 5 right probably around that R5 pivot there. Let me see here. This gives us an overextended wave 3 up here at around 3.618. So solid move on that. And then, of course, let me see here. If we get this target up here, let's give us a pullback right around this 23.6 maybe at this higher volume node kind of area. Yeah, see, that's going to get you up there around that R5 pivot. So, I mean, you know, loosely, I believe that, you know, if this count plays out here and we get this 3 up here to R4, we should pull back around the R3 and then up to the R5 to finish out that wave there. Unless it overextends and continues all the way up here to this minimum expected wave circle 3 target up here at 61,250. If it finishes this wave here and pulls back, so that's a 1, 2, this is going to be much higher up here. Because, you know, again, if we're looking for it to hit this area up here, then we should expect this pullback to here and then back up. So, you know, generally, you know, maybe this right here, which means this wave circle 3 ends up being closer to 79,000 up there. Unless it pulls back a bit further here, in which case it'd be closer to 76.5. But nonetheless, that's still a bit off. We've still got to see it make it go out. You know, this is the first thing we've done. As mentioned, if we were to break through this 15-minute pivot, this 1 and 4 hour pivot, this descending resistance, this kind of area here, I expected that to be on, you know, higher volume and larger candle spread, which is what we got there, which is what you would need to break through all that resistance. So again, just to pull back toward that area and then should rally back up there. Breakout above wave parentheses X here at 50,828.13 cents. A breakout above that is going to add confidence to this 1, 2, 3 count here. And so, you know, once we're through that, it should signal that wave circle 3 is in progress. So yeah, you know, a lot of upside arguments here, but we still got to make it. You know, we still got these levels we have to get through. You know, generally speaking, this breakout here has a general target of that descending resistance. We break out of that, then we start, you know, we look at this R3 area here, which as you can see, if we kind of pull this over here, it's this bit of demand right here, right? So this was demand, dropped right through it, pushed up, rejected, came down. So now either we're going to hit it and pull back, which is what it's lining up to do, and then break out, or we'd break out, pull back, find it as support, and continue up. Either way, it should continue up through that. Right there at that R3 4-hour pivot there. So not looking too bad. Let me see here. What's up, DJ? He says, do you ever check in on the Ichimoku cloud with crypto settings? I use the daily break below as a GTFO sign, but price is holding up surprisingly well below it. No, I never really ever look at the Ichi cloud. I mean, I've done it in the past, and I guess if I get bored, I kind of throw it on there, but I don't normally look at it. We can look at it right now, though. Let me see here. Let's take a look at this. So crypto triple has it hitting that resistance and pulling back. Thin area of the cloud here comparatively. So we'll see if we can just rally up through that thin area of the cloud. But again, you get the breakout push up toward this previous resistance area, which is what you would expect. Pull back support right about this area. Head up. I mean, so yeah, it looks like it's lining up pretty good, right? So yeah. Those are the triple settings there. You can look crypto double settings. And in the double settings, it's pushed up into it, pulled back using it as support. And then we'll be looking at that. Obviously, a breakthrough, a flat area like this is a strong indication that prices, in this case, would be bullish. And of course, we look at crypto single there. We're kind of finding resistance right at the top of that breakout. So it depends on which one you want to look at. Traditional settings, we've broken out above it, came back, retested as support. So if you're using traditional, what's it called, Ichi settings here, Ichimoku settings, we broke up through on large candle spread and volume, pulled back, finding support on it. So could see it definitely rallying up from here and heading up. Yeah. So, well, you know what, TV Canal, if you don't like it, buddy, I mean, you've been here a while, but you can go and move on, man. Again, guys, I talk about possibilities in these longer term targets based on where we're at now. But as I said, we still have to get through these areas here. If you guys got an issue with that, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Thankfully, I'm not a crypto influencer, guys. So I don't have to have you here. I don't even have to do this. I'm doing this for you. And I don't mean that to be, to come out as rude or whatever, but at the end of the day, if you're going to come off as rude like that, you can just move on. I don't have time in my day for that nonsense. Seriously. Life is much too short, guys. It's much too short. So yeah. Let me see here. Andrew P., I appreciate you, buddy. Good to see you checking in, man. How you guys talking about the doubles, triples, and sextuples, right? What's the difference between the Ichimoku cloud settings? I don't know what they are exactly. This is a great one, though. It's a guy who was a member with us way back in the day, and he kind of coded this up. And so if you type in Ichi here, it's the Leo Crypto Multi-Setting Ichimoku Cloud. Right here, this is the one you guys want, okay? That's that one I've got on here. You can just go up to it, hit it, and you can change it from traditional to crypto signal, double, and triples. And so the idea is the settings, especially with the crypto triple, is that because the crypto market is a 24-hour market, 7 days a week, versus the traditional settings, which are based on legacy market, which is, just 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday kind of thing. And so, if you're into that kind of thing, it should give you better readings, being that it's open there, that 24/7 type of thing. Okay? So whatever you guys want to do with that there, I would suggest that you definitely use that indicator. Man, he coded that, a few years ago now, and it still works really well. So, yeah. Let me see here. So, DJ, you said you found the crypto double to be more helpful. Is also what most of crypto CT cloud traders use. Historically, it's very accurate on BTC. So there you go, guys. Crypto double. There you go. So that'll look like this right here. Boom. Yeah, this one right here. Again, as DJ was noting here, it broke up into it, came back. It's finding support on the bottom of the cloud there. So that would be a good sign if you're trading clouds. Again, you've already had your cross. So oh wait, no, you had your cross down here. It hasn't crossed back up yet. So you're looking for this cross here between these two lines. You're looking for that bullish cross on that, as well as this moving up. If you can get that, that'll be really nice. Looks like we had a cross kind of coming down there. Yeah. So just looking for that to move. But, it's because it's going sideways here. That's why it's not crossed yet. But it's coming back up here. You've got your red line going sideways. You've got this blue line kind of coming up on you now. So if you can get that cross there and breaking up into the cloud, they should signal that you're heading up above that cloud. So, yeah. Let me see here. Let's see. Merv, what's going on? It says, can you look at the USD? I did that for somebody yesterday, yeah. The Turkish Lira there. Remember, it was around 8 Lira when you checked it out a couple weeks ago with the target around 15, and we eat bricks. We eat bricks, and it went to 18 and down to 12 today. I'm curious what you think now. Yeah. Remind me here in just a bit to take a look at that. I've got a chart from yesterday requested by one of our members over there in Discord. So, yeah. Let me see here. The Real Go-Go, what's up? The Real Go-Go 007. Glad to have you here, man. Let me see. So, yeah. So, again, it's there's a lot of good, positive movement through all this. But, again, we definitely need to get above this swing high right here, which is what I've been talking about, for a while now. And then that'll take, in doing that, it'll take us above this descending resistance. This resistance has been in here since November 10th. So about a month and a half. So what you're looking for, guys, listen, what you're looking for is an impulsive breakout here, okay? What that means is you want to see expanding volume and you want to see expanding candle spreads. The candle spreads are the bodies of the candles. So you want to see those bodies getting longer, and you want to see that volume expanding, getting larger as it goes to break out and as it breaks out. Because what that tells you then is that the volume tells you that there's more involvement, there's more money being involved, right? More interest. And the larger candle spreads are telling you that demand is outpacing supply. So there's a lot more buying, market buying than market selling going on, and it's increasing. So those two things give you a bullish trend right there. And that's what you want to see on a breakout through a significant area of resistance like that. So if you can get that, I think pretty much that's all she wrote. And this is the bottom and we're headed up. But, again, there are those levels you can look at there as you do if you'd like, right? So, yeah, got a lot of that going on. We have got here. So last week I talked about the possibility that this was going to be a triangle because, of course, my Euro USD chart, as I mentioned, has a triangle here. So this should most likely be a triangle as well. So I had updated that. And what I'm looking at here, I think we've still got further. I mean, it is possible this could be like an ABC and done here. It is possible that could be wave E done. But right now, I'm kind of looking at this maybe like an ABC. So A and then B, and then we'll have C coming down here maybe to this S1 pivot, maybe that far. But to complete wave circle E here. And then we'll look for a rally back up. And so the pattern target based on the height of this triangle here is 1.423 above the wave E termination point. Now, if it comes down to the S1 pivot, that'll get us up here around 97.47. If this is just a short E, ABC right here, and we're headed up, then that gives you a pattern target up there around 97.769. In either case, that should likely be a wave 4, and that should be a wave 5 coming up. As you can see here, I've got that as a wave 5 of circle 3. So this is a triangle. Most likely, wave circle 4 would return back to this triangle area here, and then wave 5 up. So if this is that right there, and this gets you 5 here, you'd be looking for wave circle 5 up here about 98.3. If this comes down lower here, you're probably looking up there about 98.46 or so. Nonetheless, at the end of the day, what we're talking about is still further up here before we have any decent kind of a pullback going on in the dollar there. Let's see here. Let me see here. So anyway, so that's what we've got with that. Let's see. Lumber futures are looking interesting here. I've got 5 up, as we talked about with lumber before, and we talked about this drop here. So we got that. It looks like we've got A here, and then it looks like we've maybe got a flat correction for wave B, which may have topped out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here as an ending diagonal for wave C of B. That should give us a wave C heading down here toward about 333, 340, somewhere right around there at least. At that point, wave C here will be equal to wave A. Now it can fall further than that, obviously, but that'll get it around this higher volume node area down here. So my expectation is that lumber is going to continue to head lower here. So we'll see if we get that, right? This is the daily chart. If we jump out to the weekly here, you can see we're very topped out here. Let's see if we can kind of pull that back and head on down now as we get to the end of the year. Remember, at the end of this year, guys, the new year starts up. We're going to get new weekly, monthly pivots for the next year. So, we'll see. We'll see how that turns out with everything there. But we do have a gap down here on the weekly, and that's not too encouraging for lumber. So if you're thinking about building a house, you might want to wait a little bit and see how that comes down there with those lumber prices, right? Let's see here. Excuse me. Just in time, you're long from Ethereum from 37.84, hopefully for a while. Well, I mean, again, Ethereum should follow with Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin's bottom's in there, then Ethereum's bottom should be in as well. So yeah. It's W-Rider says it's all manipulation by lumber whale cartels. And that's sarcasm there. He didn't have to put that S there for me. I knew it was sarcasm from him. But yeah. So, this makes sense with what we're looking at in terms of real estate coming down, home prices coming down. I continue to keep up with that, man. We are seeing a lot of, at least in my area here, a lot of these higher end homes. You're looking like, $1.2 million and up. We're starting to see a lot of them really starting to price in some discounts now. So, I've seen some houses right now sitting around 1.2, 1.5 last, up to a few weeks ago. And if they were 1.2, they're now like 990. So down about almost 20%. And same thing with the 1.5s. 1.5's coming on down to about 1.3 or so. So it's not just a few. The thing is, I'm starting to see it with a lot more of the homes now, which I can't complain about because you guys know I'm looking to buy something next year. So finally, right? I don't know though. I may get some kind of much more inexpensive than what I normally would, just to. I can't stand the idea of buying heavily at a top of a market, right? I'm gonna buy something decent, and then kind of wait till prices continue to drop lower, and then buy something nice coming in. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah. So, lumber prices coming down makes sense in terms of overall real estate, everything as well coming down with that. Travis, you said your parents built a house during the peak prices this year. Ugh, that's awful, man. It's tough. It's tough. It's the whole reason I've held off purchasing, once I moved down here, because I couldn't see, buying at the top of some significant possible top of the market. So I said I'd give it a few years to see if that market tops out, and it might be doing so right now. So we'll see what's going on there. Let's see here. Taylor says, if BlackRock and funds are buying up all the real estate, my gut feeling would be they'd be looking at the bread and butter stuff, not the jumbo loan houses. Yeah. Exactly. They're looking, if they're buying it up, and they're not stupid, I mean, it's not that they can't make mistakes, guys. Big money makes mistakes as well. And remember, I've told you that most often, if the, at the end of like a major bull market, everybody's going to be in the same direction. So your retail is not going to be the only one still looking long. So will your big money guys as well. Everybody's going to kind of be still looking long when you get to these major tops. So, it's possible it could just be wrong, which is great because, if you're looking to buy a house, because if they are, and this whole thing crumbles down and goes like we're talking about, there's going to be a lot of houses that are going to come onto the market, which means prices are going to drop. Now, if you own a home, that's going to suck because it's going to suppress your prices. But I already talked about earlier this year that, if you were looking to sell anytime between now and the next few years, it'd probably be the time to do it. And so we'll see what goes on here. But for those of us that are looking to buy, I think it may just offer just an insane just opportunity with it. So, not only with their glut of supply, remember Zillow's still throwing all their houses on there. You're going to have things like Open Door and Redfin that if this all happens, there's no way they're going to keep it, Now, you're going to be able to keep some of it that you're going to be able to rent out. Because a lot of people are going to, lose their homes, unfortunately, lose jobs, lose homes, fail on their mortgages and whatnot. They're going to be looking to rent. So, there's the ability to rent it out, but that in itself as a whole, I wouldn't want to rent, be a home rental person doing that. It's too much of a pain in the rear end. But anyway, let me see here. Hank says Europe prices still exploding. Yeah, they're still going up in a couple of places. Sure. But again, the idea that that's going to kind of continue up, continue higher, just doesn't make a whole lot of sense in the grand scheme of things. So we'll see what happens, though. Yeah, exactly. Totally different market, different government behind you over there. In terms of what citizens get and don't get from their government compared to what they get and don't get here. And whatnot, sure. So that's going to impact how you buy and sell real estate, yeah. Mike says he sold one of his rentals at or close to the top to Zillow. Man, that was a smart move right there. The previous place I was leasing last year, they sold out to Zillow as well. So, yeah. This current place that I'm in right now, the owner's getting hit by, up until recently, was getting hit by Zillow a lot. He's getting things from Open Door and Redfin still, though. Now, this is a higher end home, so, they're still trying to buy. Yeah, they overpaid by quite a bit, Mike, for sure, man, for sure. Blaze, what's up, man? You're in Macon, Georgia right now, and you're looking at Tennessee, or you're looking at the Macon, Georgia, and Tennessee area? Social protection. It all depends on where you come from how you phrase it. I just love seeing the different ways that people look at it. But yeah, when you don't have as much to concern yourself about if things go down or go south, then yeah, it's a little bit easier to buy or sell differently than what it is somewhere else. Sure. You're looking at both areas, Blaze? Yeah, I lived in Florida for a while. A couple of different areas. Let me see here. Telluride says, going by last cycle housing crash, don't count on your loan still coming through when the blood is in the streets. Cash or creative hustle only. Yeah, that's really probably what we're looking for. Always. Travis, you looking to buy in Utah? Man, you depending on where you're looking in Utah, that can get expensive. But, man, some of the mountainous type areas in the winter, man, great places to ski. For sure. Hank says we also have cheap healthcare, so no big surprises if we stub a toe. Yeah, it is crazy here. Let me see here. So that's got that there. What we're looking at, I know somebody asked for, I think it was Merv asked for USD Turkish Lira here. And then if you asked for some earlier, guys, let me know so I can remember to look at that there. So it looks like, man, it kind of really came down hard there. Let me zoom in here a bit. So you've got this bearish divergence here on the daily. At the top there, it came down hard here. Let me kind of zoom in a bit more. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this going, okay. Looks like A, B, C, B, and then C maybe. It might have finished off as C here. Look for a breakout above, what is that, 1396.091 maybe, to kind of start getting some confidence there. But I would really, as hard as that came down, and this is kind of like a short potential C, I want to see a breakout above the 4-hour pivot here. Now, with this here, with this low, if this is the low here, finding support right here, it dipped just below this this daily demand right there. And so that'll give us a little bit higher up there. 25 is what it about looks like for wave 5 of 5. I think this recent move up was only wave 3 of 5. Pullback should be wave 4 of 5. So I think you guys still got one more move up here. And, that kind of aligns with the DXY and still looking for that one more move up on the DXY, right? As well. So I think it might be heading up there about 25 before you guys maybe get some sort of reprieve, some kind of breathing room, I guess. If you want to look at here's how bad it is, guys, for the Turkish Lira. Look at that. And so right here from, if you guys hadn't been paying attention, from September till just the other day, not even 3 months there, right? Maybe about not even 3 months. The lira or the dollar rallied. Look at that. Up, how far is that? 120% against the lira. It's crazy. It's crazy stuff going on there. So yeah, like I said, I think, I don't know why this stupid thing flips around here. That should not be over there. That should be over there. Should be over there. Anyway, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, looking at that 5 to still finish up there. So I think you still got one more rally higher to finish that out. But even in that case, I mean, does it just pull back to this wave 4 area at 10, 11 area? 11, I guess. Possible just pulls back there and then breaks out and continues higher there. So we'll have to see. Yeah, the Turkish Lira just really hurting, guys, really hurting. I feel terrible for anybody that depends on the Lira, as far as their livelihood goes, right? It's been terrible. But we'll see what happens here. We'll see if we can, make one more push up and then get some sort of, reprieve at least back down to 11 and wait for the lesser degree here. Merv, you're definitely welcome there for sure. Let me see here. Luna USDT. Let me see here. Let's see what's going on. By the way, guys, if you missed the announcement at the beginning there in the chat, there won't be a Friday show. The office is going to be closed tomorrow through the weekend, so we spend time with family and all. If you are in Discord, I'm sure I'll probably log in, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at some point to give you some sort of update on Bitcoin at least, as I usually do. But it's just going to be when I get a chance, again, trying to spend time with family and everything. Only 2 times out of the year I take, multiple days off in a row, right there at Thanksgiving and then at Christmas. Otherwise, 16 hours a day, right? So we broke out above wave B resistance here at 76.72 on Luna BTC, or Luna USDT. We've got a minimum expected wave, parentheses 3 target up here at 100. So yeah, we'll see how that works out. That's the minimum expected target, so it could continue higher there. We moved in sideways between the pivot and the R1. I want to see right now, do we get a rejection at the R1 that brings us back down toward this area? Or does it just continue to rally up through there? If this just continues to break on through and head up here to R2, that's extremely bullish. This Luna USD pair has been one of the better ones here, over this last, week or so. Whereas everything else was kind of going sideways and kind of pulling back a little bit. This one just kept popping up. So, yeah, looking for that at least $100 right there for that parentheses 3 target. Let me see here. Oscar, what's up, man? Let me see here. Kind of catch up with you guys. Let me see here. I see oil. Okay, let's look at oil. Oil, man, just keeps doing all this pain in the butt stuff. You know, it's not going to make itself an easy, an easy count usually. You know, we've had to sit here and go back and forth a few times, kind of trying to figure out what's going on here. Right now, I've got this coming off here. I've got this topped out here in October, right around. It's right on my sister and my dad's birthday. Both have birthday on the same day. Anyway, top right there. Coming down as a 1-2 and then a 1-2 3 4, looking at 5, which will give us 3 here. So just kind of looking for this to continue lower at this time. So here's the way I'm kind of playing this. So again, right now I've got this as a 4 and then potentially a 5 moving down here, right? So this I've got is a 1 2 3 4 5 leading diagonal. A, B, 1 2 3 4, finishing out a 5 on a 2 right around this high volume node here. You see this high volume node where we're at? Right there. Looking for rejection in this area right here to send it back down to about 59.42, around that area for wave parentheses 3 of 5. Right, so 5 will be a little bit lower there. I guess potentially right here around 57.49 maybe. But that would then just be wave 3 on that there. How that is. Let me see where this would be exactly. If that tops in or just about so right here where we're at. 59.66 right around there. It gives you wave 5 down here around 56.9. But again, that would just be this wave 3 still coming down. And so we'd have a 4 up and then a 5 down, and that would be like maybe wave A, and then wave B, and then at least wave C coming down. Still looking for price to head on into the 30s on that, if this count is correct here that I'm looking at. If we get a breakout above this swing high up here, this wave 4, 73 and some change, 73.34. So in that case, maybe it's possible we have 5 down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here. And this is an A, B, C, so that'd be a 1, 2. Potentially an A, B, but then your C isn't getting down in the 30s, and I'm not sure that it's going to stay up above 30 as it's coming down. So we'll have to see. As long as it rejects and drops back down prior to this wave 4 swing high here, we're kind of looking down toward, just to finish up 5 down here at around 54 maybe. Unless something overextends or whatnot happens with that. But, yeah, looking to see if we can get rejection here at this high volume node right above that 1 hour and 4 hour pivot there right now. Let me see here. I'm going to catch up with you guys. Oh, I found out today that we could be thankful for the Dutch. Not for tulips. For donuts. Apparently it was the Dutch that brought the donuts to the U.S. So, hey, that's cool, right? I appreciate your people, Hank. And Bianca, I think you're from up there that way as well, aren't you? I think. Appreciate you people. Let me see here. Let me kind of catch you. I know there was another request here. Let me see if I can find it here. Well, I thought there was. Maybe not. I thought there was one somewhere there. Y'all are talking about housing now, huh? Oh, SNX USDT or USD. Okay, there we go. Let's do this right here. XUSD. Man, just 4 days to Christmas. Does anybody here not celebrate Christmas? Just curious. Like I said, even if you don't, hopefully you'll be able to use the time and enjoy the time, be able to spend time with family and everything during that time. 4 days, man. Bah humbug, Asummer says. Mike, you'll have to remind me what you said, man. I missed that. Bianca says you're welcome about the donuts. Oh my gosh, you guys are great, man. Seriously, over here, one of the funny things was when I lived in San Angelo, we didn't actually have a what's it called? Krispy Kreme donuts over there. And so so people would actually come down to the Krispy Kreme shop here in San Antonio, and they'd buy them, and then they'd bring them and they'd sell them on the side of the road there to us that didn't head up this way. Can't telling you this. Usually it's part of something like Boy Scouts or some kind of raising money for something, right? But man, yeah, now that I'm over here, it's like, well, yeah, it's kind of coming in here. It's right here, right? That said, I don't actually eat that many donuts anymore. It used to be a weekend thing growing up. Dad would run out to the donut shop Sunday morning, get donuts. But yeah, no. Maybe I'm a terrible father for my son. I don't do that for him too often. I care about his health. That's what it is. I cannot get this thing to pull down there, man. Oh, man. All right. Let me see if we can do it this way. All right. Let's try that. So far, this breakdown here is in 3 waves. But is that 3rd wave done yet? Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Let's see here. All right. Now, if we're looking through here, yeah, it looks like we could have 5 up on that. So we've pulled back about 20, just beyond 23.6 here. 1, 2. I think we still probably got further to go on this. I mean, if we look at this as let me see here. What do we got here? Yeah, I think this might be like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives us A, and then B, and then 1, 2. This might just be 3, 4. We might have 5 pulling down a bit further here. I wouldn't really be interested right now. This is the daily. As you can see, we're almost topped out and overbought. I would not really be overly interested until we get an impulsive breakout, at least above this descending resistance. If you're a bit more risk tolerant than I am, you could probably look at this resistance right here as your first clue that maybe that bottom might be in. This take on quite a bit of risk here, but I mean, break out of that, you would look for this descending resistance here to be your next target, and you're looking to really just break out of this descending channel resistance there. You break out of that, that'll give you a pattern target here of 16.99, basically $17 above the point of breakout. And as any good descending channel where you've got the significant resistance there that mentions that, hey, the bottom's probably in and we've reversed, the target should lead you to where it starts. And so that's about what we have here. Depending on how long this takes to get up here, that target will be up in this area. And so that's a pretty good target coming off this, so that is generally what we would look for. So ultimately, a breakout of this descending channel resistance would be the place to be. Gives you that $17 target above it. Almost 200%. But if you want to get in sooner, you can look at, if you're really risk tolerant, you can look at this descending resistance. If you're more risk adverse, you can look at this one. But ultimately, it's this line here that you're looking to break out of on that. Let me see here. Oh, go. Gotta catch up to you guys. Let's see here. 2 donuts are probably less calories than a bagel. I'll have a terrible. I don't eat bagels, so. I eat a lot of steak, guys. That's what I eat a lot of. Steak. I am not a vegetarian in any way. Bianca says, no celebration or family gatherings, but I have a lovely Christmas tree. I love to hear that. I might share images with you all of our Christmas trees there at in Discord, maybe. Let me see here. Okay, if you don't need the dot chart, then that's fine, TV Canal. Again, guys, you have to understand, I go through this. I've got a lot of stuff on my mind as I start this, things that I want to get through, things that I want to speak about, which is why I ask you to remind me later on in the show if you want to look at something. But don't ever come at me with the, I was first asked for this, but you ignore me, so whatever. Man, I know for a fact, TV Canal, that I did dot charts for you every time we were on for months on end there. So I think that's a bunch of nonsense way to look at things. I don't know what the deal is today, but you're really coming off as rude, and, I don't appreciate that. I'm a pretty nice, easygoing guy. I try and do what I can. If I can't get to you, I can't get to you, but the fact that I've done it so many times for you, and then for you to come up like this, I think that's kind of ridiculous. And, maybe I'm getting it wrong. Again, we can't show emotion really in texting and whatnot, messages like that. But heads up, guys, I do this out of the kindness of my heart. I come up here and do this. So, I don't know. I think it's probably better if you're kinder about it. Understanding, what's going on. But, God, man, it just is what it is, right? I'm trying to catch up here and trying to see if there's any other ones here. 83 Madden, what's up? What do I think about ADA? I guess you mean ADA USDT, right? Let's see here. And I know some people are going to get butthurt about what I just said over there. And I got to be honest with you guys. I don't really care. Life is too short. I go out of my way here to try and do the best I can while I'm here. And so I know I do. And if that bothers you that I don't get to you sometimes, or if I ask you to repeat it so that I can know that, what you'll get there. I mean, it is what it is, guys. This is life, right? As I often tell you guys, life is up to you. Do what you do with it. It's how you view it. ADA USDT here. I think we've bottomed out here. We've got, it looks like a pretty clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a 1, 2, 3 down. So I've got this as a 1, 2 with a minimum expected wave 3 target up here of 1.408. That should give us a wave 5 minimum expected right about 1.46 in that area. Obviously, if we drop down below wave 2 here, that'll invalidate it because it's probably going below the swing low here, and we'll come on down. If that were to happen, you see I've got this large wedge on here. I would potentially look toward the wedge support. But here's the thing. Don't forget, this wave 2 is right over here, right? Right about 1.051 or so. So if we're dropping below that, that kind of really redoes everything, right? And then we've got wave 4 over here. In that case, is it possible maybe that we would have an ABC and an ABC and then maybe like 5 down here as maybe some sort of wave 4 flat? I think that would probably be the next thing I'd look at. Because, this is one of the bigger ones. It should generally follow in line with Bitcoin and whatnot. And, if Bitcoin is bottomed, then it should be bottomed or near so to do it. If Bitcoin's on a wave 4, then it should generally be on a wave 4. So, yeah, that's what I'd look for with that. If we break out of this descending wedge here, that gives us a pattern target of 1.054 above the point of breakout. And that's, based on the height here of it. Oops, I'm sorry. Based on the height here of it, the widest part of it. And so, breaking out, that takes you, again, right near that top, right near the beginning. Remember what I just said a minute ago on the other chart? your descending channel or wedge. If it's a legitimate channel or wedge, then the pattern target is likely to take you toward the beginning of that the channel or wedge. So, it looks pretty solid there. It'll have to come down a little bit further here, so it'll be a little bit lower. But again, right in that area where you would expect it to be, that pattern target. So, guess what, guys? I have never seen anybody tell us anything like that before. That's the kind of stuff that you get to pick up here, right? So, yeah. Let me see here. Bullish on your ribeye future for 2022. We're going to be, hey, you know what? I'm going to be grilling up steaks for Christmas meal. That's what we decided on. It's going to be nice. Blaze, no, I haven't seen it yet. Going to take my, take the whole family to see Spider-Man this week, as well as the new Matrix movie. I just had my son and my nephew and everybody watch it, the first three, this weekend into early this week. So they're all ready for the next installment of it. Oh, man. Let me see. Let me kind of catch up. I've just about got to go here, but let me see what other kind of requests we had in here real quick. AVAX USD. Let me see here. We got this. We can look at this one right here. See where we're at. Let's see. Did I get us a new low right there? It looks like it did. So that'll be wave 2 right there, right around that S1 pivot where we were looking. We've got a nice move up here. Breakout above the wave circle B resistance right there. Hey, definitely, Travis. Sure, man. This wave circle B resistance, 127.41. If we can break out through that, that should give us confidence in our count, added confidence to the count there. That'll give us, let's see here, minimum wave 3 target here of 229.83, basically about 230. Looks like for wave 3. Yeah, and so on the plus side here, we get this. We broke out above the pivot, kind of pulled back to this pivot, the daily pivot here, this area. It really kind of dipped down and hit this little demand right here, this little demand block. And then rallied back up above it. So that's a pretty good sign. Again, looking for the breakout above wave circle B here. Gives us that target up there at about 230 minimum wave 3 target on that, right? If we look here, if we look at this 1-2 right here, that's what that lower line was. That was that wave 3, local wave 3 right there, but obviously heading up above that. So that wave parentheses 3 target is likely to be up here at around 269.5. You see up there. So as long as it remains above wave 2 here, wave Roman numeral 2, you should be looking for higher highs heading on up. So that's come off pretty well there. You had this nice reaccumulation range here. And then rallies back up here. You get your pullback here. Creates a little range. Pulls back to that range. Rallies up. Pulls back to this previous. I mean, it's good. It's good movement here, guys. It keeps pulling back to the previous resistance. Using it as support and rallying back up. It's right here. Always look left, guys. Always, even if you don't know Elliott wave and all this other stuff, always look left. When it does a pullback, see if you get a support right around the previous resistance. Yes, that went up a little bit higher, but look at how many of these efforts you have right here. Right there in that area. And of course, if you continue looking left here, so you can kind of see where that kind of pulls through that area. But again, you get the rallied up, it pulls back to this area, then rallies and breaks out above here. Comes back, pulls back to this previous area right here. Rallying back up there. So, I mean, that's good movement on that. That's the kind of thing that you want to see if you're trading there. Let's see here. Where are we at? Where are we at here? Big cup and paddle, a big cup in hand. Can't even say a handle pattern. You talking about this right here? I mean, you got some sideways pull down, pull back head up. I mean, I guess you could look at it that way if you want to. Not my preferred way to look at it, but let's see here. I've already hit that target easily right there, so it's already out there anyway, unless you're talking about... I don't like this. If you're talking about this as a cup and handle, I don't like this because you have this big push up into here, and you have this big push up into here. And so the one thing to remember about cup and handles patterns, guys, is the more your pattern looks like this, the more likely it is to be a cup and handle. Where price stays along this lower end here. When you start having something that looks more like this, like that right there, this red one is usually not a cup and handle. You have this large move into it. You want it to be further back. You want it to be a more follow this trend here rather than have these big moves out along the way. Because it's what's going on in the pattern that, the cup and handle is just a name for it. But you guys have to understand, it's not just the way the pattern looks. It's what is happening in that pattern. That's what you're looking at. That's what you're trying to understand. And the more you can understand about what's actually going into the pattern, which ends up resulting in the way that price moves out of the pattern or it moves through that pattern, the more likely you are to find good patterns to trade there. Just because it looks like the pattern, guys. So many people lose a lot of money, especially when they're new, because they say, well, it looks like that pattern kind of, so I'm going to go with it. But there's no real understanding of why that pattern looks like it, why it is, what's actually going on in that pattern that would do it the way they want it to work, the way they expect it to work. And so, you get a pattern that looks like it somewhat, and then it doesn't work out. So, yeah. Let me see here. Oh, let me kind of catch up with you guys. Let me see here. Hank is talking about volume on Bitcoin, I think, right? He says it contradicts that markdown is done. Markdown from here. From where? From here? Why would volume here be contradicting that this is done? Volumes drop back off on the pullback here. Bunch of overlapping candles here. Overlapping candles, small candles overlapping, volume dropping off. That's usually indicative of a correction. Yeah. So I'm not sure what you meant there in that area. Or maybe I'm misunderstanding where you're talking about markdown. If you're talking about this as a whole range here, then markdown wouldn't have begun yet because the range lows are down here. So I'm just kind of confused where your range is that you're talking about. Let me see here. All right, I'll see if I can check out what you're talking about there, Hank. But yeah, so, I mean, like right now, this area right here, everything else aside, all this overlapping minimal movement down, small candle spreads, declining volume, is usually indicative of a correction. So yeah, your impulsive movements look like this, even to the downside. There's very little pullback, right? It's nice, large candles, movement heading up from local areas right here. Again, you've got it all right here, got it all right here, and so it's just a bunch of corrective looking like price action there. So yeah. But like this right here, not a lot of nice large candle spreads here. Let me see if we can find another area where we're down here. This kind of thing here, right, where you've got us all down, moves up, down, down. But yeah, so usually when I see stuff like this, It looks like corrective there. And of course, there's that wedge right there coming off that. And then this larger wedge right here. So again, Elliott wave out of the way. You don't even have to watch that. You've broken out of this wedge pattern here. Should give you a target of this wedge resistance. Break out of that, of course, should give you a target of the wedge beginning up here. Just in patterns. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll check it out, Hank. I don't remember, man. I'm sorry. I look at a lot of charts in the week. I don't remember what it was. Otherwise, I'd be able to quickly, talk about it, but I don't. Let me see here. Head and Shoulders from April 14th. I don't know where you're looking for your Head and Shoulders. Are you saying this is a left shoulder, this is a head, and it's going to come down here, and then it's going to come back up? We're going to have a right shoulder and down? I mean, that's possible, but way too early to kind of seriously suggest that's, really strongly what's going to happen. Yeah. Bianca, have a great day. Thanks for checking in. But yeah. So anyway, I need to get out of here, guys. It's a 12:15. But this is what we're looking at, So we'll continue to see what happens here. But, with the dollar still rallying up probably through the end of the year into early next year, that could, well, I don't know. Bitcoin's really going sideways here. So, even with the dollar out there, Bitcoin could spend the rest of this year kind of breaking up through all here. And so overall, it's still sideways. So it's not a big deal that it's going up through here while the dollar's still going up through there as well. And then the dollar kind of finally does a big pullback, and then Bitcoin heads up, right? Maybe dollar does like a wave 2 pullback, and that gives, which lasts a few months, and that gives Bitcoin the time to finish out its last wave up. Quite possible on that right there. Okay? So yeah. Definitely keep looking at that, guys. We'll see how this all goes. We'll see where it all goes. Again, guys, it's not blindly go up. I've got targets there that I've told you. I've got areas that we're looking for price to get through. How we're kind of looking at it right now to kind of move as it does. But, where you enter depends on your level of risk tolerance or risk aversion. Okay, and what you're trading, what you're expecting. I've looked at it multiple different ways to give you different angles to look at it and kind of decide where you're comfortable potentially entering or not entering. But, ultimately, guys, at the end of the day, it's up to you, right? I mean, I can't do it for you. You've got to decide when the risk in the entry matches the profile that is you as a trader or investor, right? And I hope you guys understand that. Too many times new traders coming in here and they're trying to get people online to tell them where to buy and sell. But that person you're talking to, their goals and all those things that make them who they are as the trader investor that they are going to be different than those that make you who you are. And so what might be a good trade for them or a decent trade for them might be a terrible trade for you. You guys absolutely have to understand that. Otherwise, you'll continue to always blame everybody else when you're not making money out there, right? But we know it's all us, right? It's up to us when we make the trades. It's wholly on us, nobody else, right? All right, guys. I hope you guys have an amazing week. For those of you that celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. I look forward to seeing you guys next Tuesday. If you'd like to join us, howtotradetowin.com is where you do it. And we would absolutely love to have you there. If you join, man, send me a DM, send Adam a DM, say hi in the channels, whatever, man. Let us know. And we can help get you started on all the content that's there and let you kind of know where you should probably start at looking at and then how to expand from there. All right. Hank, I think you said you're still in Thailand, right? Man, have a safe trip. Enjoy it. Everybody else, again, y'all trade safe. Remember, anticipating is gambling. Confirmations is speculating, okay? The only thing you control in the market is how much you guys lose. That's it. So keep working on risk management more than anything else. Y'all take care, okay?